Hi, welcome back to ChiliCast Projects. Today I want to showcase another one of the headsets I designed this summer. This one is slightly different from Flatrock. This is Ignis. Ignis is a attempt to create a large FOV VR headset with these large Fresnel lenses based on the Northstar Next displays and drivers. As you can see, my Northstar is very torn down now. The inspiration for this is partly because of DragonSkyRunner, who built a very similar headset. The requirements for this was quite simple. I didn't want it to be super heavy. I wanted it to be SteamVR trackable. So as such, I have our power tracker. I wanted it to really be a max of 2 USB-C cables. Wanted to use the Vibe Deluxe audio strap. In general, I wanted this headset to be a comfortable experience and to have these large lenses. The majority of this headset is designed with these lenses in mind. They're these huge Fresnel lenses that cover about 89% of the display, really only making room because I wanted it to be small enough to cut. These are all cut off of Taobao. I believe I've stacked them to be 40 millimeters and 40 millimeters together, focal length wise. So you have 2 layers, and that hopefully, I was hoping that it would decrease the thickness of this headset, but I've had some issues tuning this in optically. I'm sure it's solvable. I know Manolo has a similar headset, but with smaller lenses, but his focal lengths are different, so maybe I want to try that next. But currently, this is the current design. I was originally using 2 separate driver boards here, and I'll show a picture on the screen. And I was working with 2 HDMI cables at once, which made this a really bulky headset. But even though it looks really large now, it's actually about half the weight of an Index, even with the strap on. It's actually quite a similar thickness. I wish I could use something more similar to the Index's material for the facial interface, but unfortunately I couldn't find it in time, so this is a Gear VR gasket. Our power tracker mount and this whole Vive thing, this is kind of a mesh off of Thingiverse. The rest of these meshes are from DragonSkyRunner, so I thank them a lot for providing those. These are all on my GitHub. Currently it's deprecated because I don't really have time to work on it, but I do wish to implement the new tracker mount design that someone has graciously contributed, and I do want to play around with the focal length on this a little bit more. The inside is all very modular, as I'll show you later. You can take out the left and right display modules individually and fix them, or do some other shenanigans, but currently this is its state. There's a fan in there that I haven't fully attached. There used to be a USB-C hub in here so that I can do USB audio, USB for the fan, some other cool stuff, and maybe just one USB-C cable for display and this tracker, but that didn't work out. There was a lot of noise going on. I think it was the displays, but here's Ignis. In comparison to the Valve Index's lenses, I have my Index here, you can see how much of a difference. The same display, but very different implementations of lenses, of course. But the Valve Index doesn't really cover that much of display, but their lenses are definitely better engineered than these ones. This is definitely more of an experimental design. I'm sure I can solve some of the issues going forward, and I'm looking forward to actually implement a neater design for this. This was very sloppily put together in Fusion 360. A few prototypes later just to see. It covers about my full vertical FOV, but horizontally it's lacking because none of these displays are canted. The Index is canted about 5 degrees outwards, which is actually quite an insane cant angle for a headset, but this one's 0 degrees because I couldn't figure out the software. It runs via the Hades VR open source driver for Steam, and our power tracker is literally just I've modified the JSON to make it appear as a Vive tracker and then appear as my head tracker, so it works wonderfully. and you can use it with Mindex controllers and whatever. Right now it works on SteamVR, and actually it displays quite well, but I don't think it handles the wide FOV well enough. I don't know what's up with the rendering, but I'll have to figure out something software-wise. This is Ignis now, and thank you for watching.